Welcome back to my channel. Are you a student of CBSE? Then this video is for you. I will discuss the story The Enemy in details, its key points of the story, a detailed summary, theme of the story, and some probable questions that you should prepare for the ensuing exams. So let's start with the key points of the story. The story is set during the World War II, that means Second World War, and it revolves around Dr. Sadao Hoki, a Japanese surgeon who faces a moral dilemma when he discovers an injured American prisoner of war washed ashore near his home. And in finding that American prisoner of war, Dr. Sadao is torn between his duty as a doctor to save the lives of that American prisoner and, on the contrary, his loyalty to Japan, which considers Americans the enemy, as Japan was engaged in the World War II against America. Despite the risks, Dr. Sadao and his wife Hana decides to shelter and treat the wounded soldier, defying societal expectations and the disapproval of their servants. The story explores the theme of humanity, prejudice, and the conflict between personal ethics and national loyalty. Ultimately, Dr. Sadao helps the soldier escape, highlighting the triumph of compassion and humanity over hatred. Now I discuss a detailed summary for your benefit as you prepare for the exam. As I have already mentioned, the main protagonist of the story is Dr. Sadao Hoki, who is a highly skilled Japanese surgeon who was educated in America at his father's insistence. While there, he met his wife Hana, but delayed pursuing a relationship until he confirmed her pure Japanese lineage, which reflects the clear hint of his nationalism. Knowing his traditional father would disapprove it otherwise, the marriage was later arranged in the Japanese custom upon their return to Japan. Due to his expertise in medicine, Sadao was exempted from military service during World War II. Instead, he remained in Japan to treat a high-ranking general who might require surgery. One evening, Sadao and Hana spotted a wounded man, an American prisoner of war, washed ashore. Despite knowing that harboring an enemy soldier was treasonous, as that could abandon him due to their humanitarian instincts, they brought him inside, intending to hand him over to authorities after treatment. The soldier was placed in Sadao's late father's room. Sadao performed a risky surgery to save his life, while Hana cleaned him after their servants, Yumi, refused out of loyalty to Japan. The servants grew increasingly fearful and resentful, seeing their action as unpatriotic. As the prisoner recovered, Sadao struggled with his conscience. He drafted a letter to the police but never sent it, torn between duty and morality. Eventually, the servants abandoned the household, unable to tolerate the situation. Sadao was summoned to treat the general, who offered to send assassins to eliminate the prisoner directly. Sadao agreed, but the general forgot due to his illness. For 3 nights, Sadao awaited the assassins, but they never came. Realizing the danger of keeping the prisoner longer, Sadao helped him escape. He provided a boat, supplies and provisions and instructions to reach a nearby uninhabited island where the soldier could signal Korean fishermen for rescue. The prisoner gratefully departed. Later, Sadao informed the general of the escape. The general apologized for his forgetfulness and praised Sadao's loyalty. That night, Sadao saw no signal light confirming the soldier's safe escape. In the end, Sadao reflected on his inability to kill the prisoner, questioning the prejudices that divide humanity. The story concludes with his internal conflict, why he, a man bounded by duty, could not bring himself to commit an act of hatred. This is the short gist of the story. But if we come to the conclusion, you must understand that the story underscores the power of human compassion to transcend the boundaries of war and nationalism. Dr. Sadao's action demonstrate that empathy and professional duty can override hatred and prejudice even in the most challenging circumstances, because Sadao, out of humanity, treated that prisoner of war who is eventually an American and who is supposed to be an enemy of the Japanese. But the conscience and the liberal attitude triumph over the hatred, and ultimately the prisoner was saved to escape. Here we come to the conclusion, but you must grasp the theme of the story. The central theme of the story is the conflict between duty and humanity. It explores how individuals navigate moral dilemmas during wartime, emphasizing the importance of compassion, the futility of blind nationalism. The narrative also critiques the dehumanizing effect of war and prejudices. The story has a clear message. What is the message? The message conveys that humanity and ethical responsibility should prevail over the hatred and division. It serves as a reminder that kindness and professionalism can bridge even the deepest divides opposed or imposed by war and politics. Now, if you are preparing for some questions of this text, here they are. What are some common criticisms of the humanities and arts? How do you proponents of the humanities and arts defend their importance? How can society better appreciate the value of humanities and war as reflected in the story? These should be your questions, and there are some critical words used in the text, namely Haori. You might find this word when the authoress describes Hana. Haori is a loose outer garment worn over a kimono. Kimono is a traditional Japanese dress. Next, stanch. Stanch means to stop the flow of blood. When Sadao was operating the American soldier, the word is used. Pallor. Pallor means unhealthy, pale appearances. Next, hypodermic. Hypodermic means a needle used for injecting substance under the skin. Next word, repulsion, intense disgust. You might find it difficult in the word inert. Inert means lacking the ability to move. Next, there is a critical word, dereliction. Dereliction means neglect of duty. Next, you might find it critical in the word zeal. Zeal means great enthusiasm or devotion, and ultimately stupefaction, a state of shock and astonishment. This word might be a critical one for you to understand. But I discuss this story in brief with additional questions and some critical words. Hope this would give you some clear views regarding the exact comprehensions of this text. Wait for the next video.